Well, what's up, friends of film fandom? I know you just sat there and watched me look awkward as shit because I didn't put the thumbnail up, but I don't really give a shit. So
I'm so
you're gonna
glad I
deal
didn't
with
do
it.
anything to get us canceled off the internet. We're so lucky right now.
No, please, please don't. Oh, god damn it. Well, we're back. We are, of course, the harsh truth. And once and always again. I am not obviously not Frank, but again, he's doing adult things because you know that tends to happen and get in the way. But such is life. But here to once again, we're doing more spooky stuff. Happy Halloween Eve, everybody. If you notice, I look a little different, but probably not too different than usual. But here to talk with me about all sorts of shapes and sizes that walk through Haddonfield is the shape from the Lone Star State, not Illinois. We have Tex in the house. How are you this evening, sir?
Ask me what I had for dinner tonight, Jeremy.
What'd you have for dinner tonight?
Cow! Sorry, I had to do that. I had to get that.
It was a 50-50 shot. It was either cow or it was dog. I wasn't sure.
I just wanted to scream cow because Richard Brake gets to in this movie, and I really like that scene. So, I thought about opening up with the jam or jelly joke, but you two may not like that, so I didn't do that one immediately. We'll see how the night goes. What's up, guys? Happy Halloween. Can y'all feel that nice, cool, fall air? It's like 63 here in Texas, so it's time to break out the heaters, man. We're all going to freeze to death. So, what you going to do?
If it gets 1 degree colder, I'm going to kick your ass.
Hey, Hank Hill knew what he was talking about back then. He was on. He knew that.
While he's over there dying and freezing to death in 63 degrees weather, I'm over here in like the 30s. I've got a shirt, a flannel, my cave sweatshirt, and part of my cave attire. That's what the denim vest is about, and the horns.
Hey, technically, I am wearing a hoodie, but just because it's my Dr. Pepper hoodie, and Nick Castle's famous for drinking the Dr. Pepper and the Michael Myers mask, I thought it'd be a nice callback, to the Halloween and whatnot. That was just more for show purposes. So,
if I had actually, I was gonna do a nice little thing. I was like, I do have a pair of red contacts again. I was like, I thought about wearing them to kind of really do the devil look and redeem myself. So the last time you and me were on here, and I almost died wearing a pair of red eye contacts.
Yeah, that one was touch and go. It was a whole thing, folks. For the ones who know, you know.
It was touching my eye, and it definitely needed to fucking go. That's for sure.
Right.
Hey, I got my wife in here first, and not Casey, so that's always good to see.
Thank God.
I got Frank. I was out in the 45 degrees, freezing rain today. Stop your crying down there in the south, you yeehaw people.
Hey, I saw you on the ground. Frank, don't think that your comment about the yeehaw people talk funny on Alex and them Monday. I saw your bullshit. I'm making mental notes. All right, just I don't forget. So just know that ahead of time, Mister. So
is he?
It's all good.
Frank's over there like Ronnie. Don't think I'm not making a mental note of all your bullshit. Anyway. There we go. Finally, I was waiting for it. Now we have all the class in the house. Now we have my mom in here.
There we go. Eventually, Casey will stroll in and try to lower all of our IQs at some point. But that's how it rolls, I guess.
He doesn't have to try. Anywho, if you saw the thumbnail and you've seen the title here, we're of course there's a thumbnail because I know how to run this show. We're here to talk about Halloween 2. I know we try. Halloween 2 is a 2009 American slasher film written, directed, and produced by Rob Zombie. It is the 10th installment of the Halloween franchise and the sequel to the Zombies 2007 remake of the 1978 Halloween. Starring Malcolm McDowell, Tyler Mane, Sheri Moon Zombie, Brad Dourif, Danielle Harris, and Scout Taylor-Compton. The film follows Laurie Strode, played by Taylor-Compton, as she deals with the aftermath of the Haddonfield murders and her deteriorating relationship with fellow survivor Annie Brackett, played by Danielle Harris. Dr. Loomis is trying to now capitalize on the events with a new book, and of course, Michael Myers, and he is seeking to reunite with his sister on Halloween once more. Halloween 2 was theatrically released in the United States on August 28th, 2009, to negative reviews from critics. This sounds familiar. On October 30th, 2009, it was re-released in North America to coincide with the Halloween holiday weekend. The film did not do as well as the previous installment, only grossing $39.4 million worldwide against its $15 million production budget. Zombie declined to return to film another sequel, and the next installment, Halloween 3D, was canceled in 2012. Rest in peace. Based on 84 reviews collected by Rotten Tomatoes, Halloween 2 has an overall, I hope we're all sitting down, 25% approval rating from critics with an average score of 4.2 out of 10. The consensus reads, quote, Zombie shows flashes of vision in the follow-up to his Halloween reboot, but they are smothered by mountains of gore and hackneyed brutal violence, end quote. Did they not watch the previous movie? Or, I mean, I guess they did.
It's like they've never seen Rob Zombie. It's anytime anybody ever critiques something Rob Zombie, it's like they've never seen the Rob Zombie thing before. What do you think you're gonna get? Like, I'd make those.
Well, I think this is what you're gonna get. I watched because apparently I cheat at my homework and I watch Dead Meat because it's a channel worth watching and all of you should watch it. If you ever watch a horror movie, if you ever watch a horror movie, your chaser needs to be watch the Dead Meat kill count following. But as James said in that video, he's like, if you wanted to know what they took the reins off and told Zombie do what you want, man, and he did, and this is what you got. And if that's what you want, if you want to know what a more Rob Zombie Halloween movie would have looked like, this is what was the result. Like I said, this was a first watch for me, and as I was watching it, I was in the back. I was hearing you in the back of my head. And I was like, "Yeah, now I see why this was so divisive." I definitely have some thoughts. About this.
It was something. Yeah,
I have some thoughts about this movie. So give me your quick thoughts on it before we dive headfirst into this cornfield of madness.
This is my second favorite Halloween film of all time. Come at me, motherfuckers out there. I love this film. And I'll tell you exactly why. Well, before I tell you why I love this film, the reason why this film bombed.
I was wondering if we were going to agree or disagree. I was wondering.
The reason why this film bombed on Halloween was because a little film called Paranormal Activity happened to come out on the same day that October in 2009. So yeah, that little re-release, I think it made them like $500,000 or something that Halloween. Nobody cared about this movie at that point because the review bombs killed it. But yes, no, I love this movie. I will never forget. I had to drop one of my children off. I flew to the movie theater as fast as I possibly could. I got my beer and I sat down to watch it. The film started and then boom, the whole thing went to hell. Movie wouldn't play. Manager comes in like, "Hey, here's a free movie ticket. Your money back. Sorry." I'm like, "Well, I've got a kid. I can't exactly just come back to, whatever." So luckily, I got back the next day and saw it. But yeah, no, I like this. This is, a brief history of the Halloween 2. Basically, Rob Zombie had a 3-picture deal. He makes Halloween 1. It's a success. He does not want to come back. Shocker, John Carpenter makes one Halloween. They have to sue him to come back to get him to write Halloween 2. Very, very similar situation with Rob Zombie. They try to bring in other directors. Nobody else fit. And then basically they're like, "Hey, Rob, what's it going to take to get you back?" And they're just blah here, So, yeah, this is I like this one because it's what this movie does different than any other one is the Blumhouse trilogy really takes a lot of what they tried to illuminate for Laurie Strode in this one, but this film doesn't get the credit for it for whatever reason. And I like how they did Laurie in this movie. I do have a conspiracy theory I'll throw at you at some point in the episode I'm curious to get your thoughts about, but yeah, I like this one.
We have Dr. Nick voicing his opinion. Boo, this one sucked.
But Dr. Nick also doesn't like candy corn, so he sucks. All right, just so. You don't know.
Okay, well,
horrible taste. Horrible taste.
okay. I mean, I like candy corn. I like black licorice. I did not necessarily like this movie.
I get
And
that.
this is gonna be a fun review. I don't hate
Oh,
it,
yeah.
but I'm just.
I'm actually kind of happy that we're not on the same side of this. Like, this will spur good conversation to podcast wise. Like, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah. No, we're gonna fight. No, I don't.
People fighting on the internet about movies? That's never happened before, Jeremy. What are you talking about?
I think I just made Dr. Nick clutch his pearls. I think I just said something even more controversial than I like candy corn and black licorice. Like, not at the same time, Nick. Damn. But
Dr. Nick's over there having a coronary right now. He can't handle that.
I think I'm a psychopath. I make Michael Myers look like a choir boy with that statement, I guess.
That's fun.
But no, I understand it from the point of it being, again, a Rob Zombie movie. I'm like, yes, this is very much what I expect a Rob Zombie movie to be. However, I don't know with like some of the characters. I'm like, there are characters that suck. Like, when you watch a slasher movie, you're like, yeah, all the teenagers in the movie or all the main characters, whatever, they kind of suck because they're just like not stereotypes, but they're just like overblown to where they're like almost cartoonish. Because I'm like, people don't even act like that in real life, and you don't care because like you just want to see the slasher do his thing. Like, you don't really care. But in this, I'm like, I understand there are people that suck, but I'm like, why do all of our main characters suck? Why is Laurie suck? Why did Annie is the only one who doesn't suck in this movie, and her dad.
Poor Annie in this movie. Annie just gets it from both fucking sides.
And I was gonna say, like, when we get there, I'm like, Annie didn't fucking deserve that. For one thing,
no,
she deserved better. But I'm like, Loomis sucks in this movie. I'm just like, why does everyone? What?
What did I tell you Tuesday? Watch what they do to Loomis. That's going to determine a lot.
Yeah, and I know you want to have him have like a redemption arc, but I'm like, you don't decide.
He
that
doesn't do what he does for redemption. It's still about his ego in this movie.
I guess I don't know. Oh, this is gonna be. Oh yeah. I think I took I lost some points there with Dr. Nick. Damn it. It's okay. It's fine. I will take that one. I'll take that one on those. All right, so he actually even have we don't even have well, but we mentioned Rob Zombie later, but the first part is the cast again, I guess. I need to quit going back to that page. Damn it. Let's use a picture of fucking Sheri Moon. What do you think about the cast in this? What do you think about the cast in this movie? Is there anybody that sent that to you, or like maybe the fact that where it is? There it is. Michael looks a little different in this movie. At least young Michael does.
Well, yeah, Tyler Dagan or whatever the kid's name was from the first one, but they tried to bring him back, but he had basically like hit a growth spurt after the first film, and there was just no way. He was too big. He could not pull off. I don't like this kid for this version of Michael. One, he looks too like a pretty boy kind of kid. He looks too
clean. You don't believe he's got that edge.
Yeah, he doesn't have that. Like the original young Michael had that look of like he's. It's not ugly. It's more of like he had a very interesting face. This kid, you could put him in a lineup and you wouldn't be able to pick him out. I didn't really like this young Michael. The two people, but I won't mention the people from the previous film I already did because that's cheap. But there's two people that really stand out to me. One is Richard Brake, the ambulance driver that screams "fuck" 57,000 times in one fucking scene. Like,
I went on for a little too long. It's like, okay, I get it.
I love Richard Brake. He obviously played Joe Chill in Batman Begins. He's been in multiple Rob Zombie films. Him as Doomhead, or I believe he was Doom or Deathhead. I can't remember which one he was. in the beginning, and then the main character of 31, incredible. Like, of course, he replaced Sid Haig in Three from Hell for the Firefly Family trilogy. Richard Brake, we get just a little bit of him here, but he is so much fun to watch, and he's a dirtbag. Once again, the whole what's the difference between jam and jelly? And for anybody who's ever seen, you know what I'm talking about. But he's I believe he was even the original Night King on Game of Thrones. He may not have been the original, but he was one of them. I know for sure. But him, and then Jeffrey Daniel Phillips, the guy that plays the bouncer in the titty bar, then he plays the Wolfman on stage at the concert. Just for the fact of he's also the guy that ends up playing Herman Munster in Rob Zombie's Munsters years later. But that dude, he, when you see a bouncer in a movie, normally, excluding Roadhouse, because that's the greatest movie ever made outside of horror. Bouncers are usually tough, big guys, whatever. He's the tinier guy. He's smaller. But he's got that big attitude. Don't give me no reason staring at 7'5" Michael Myers over here. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, really. Just die. Like, his best hope was to die quickly. He was not walking away from that. And then to get to see him later on in the film as the Wolfman character on stage telling jokes. What's so funny about that scene is Rob Zombie basically just told him, hey, go up there and be funny. He was literally getting drunk as they filmed, so that if you go back and watch that concert footage, especially in the unrated director's cut, you really get to see how everybody is awkwardly trying to laugh and whatever, because he's just making up jokes. What does he say? What do a blonde and a pumpkin have in common? They both have 3 holes in a blank expression or something. He's just like making shit up. I really enjoyed it. And of course, this whole movie rides on Scout Taylor-Compton. This is Laurie's film of, for this to be a Michael Myers film, and this kind of goes into my conspiracy theory. This is a Laurie story, and infamously, the studio you go back and watch footage of Rob whenever he presented this. I believe it was at Grauman's Chinese Theater or whatever at the premiere. He even he refused to thank the studio or anybody above him because they fucked with him the entire time he made this movie. He even flat out said, I didn't get to make the movie I wanted to, but we still rock it. This is where my conspiracy theory will come in later on, because Scout Taylor-Compton, she carried this thing, and I think she played an even larger role that we didn't get to see. So I'll cover the rest of that.
Excuse me. Goddamn. Well, for me, with this cast, I mean, obviously, I got to give it to my boy Chris Hardwick.
Oh, he's such a dick in this movie. Holy shit, dick.
The funny thing is, that's just Chris Hardwick. He's just kind of a dick like that anyway. Like
he's
that's
got
his,
one of those punchable faces. He's just it's all he ever had.
No, I love Chris Hardwick. I've listened to some of his stand up and I'm like, that's just how he is. He's just very quick with it. And he does just undercut you, and you don't even realize he just sweeps you with a fucking insult.
Before you're even done talking, he's already took your legs off.
You hear he took a couple shots at you, just so fucking fast, and it goes right over your head. No, I love this dude. And fun fact, me and him actually share the same birthday, which is actually really cool. So you get points for that. Yeah,
I share birthday with famous wrestler and love of my life, Alexa Bliss. So fun fact.
I have Chris Hardwick, but I also unfortunately have Miley Cyrus. So that's a fun one.
Oh, so your birthday comes in like a wrecking ball? Is that what you're saying?
It's definitely not a party in the USA. That's for fucking sure. I got to remember that every fucking year. I can do it too.
Unfortunately, I know that because I have daughters. And at one point, they like that witch. So
yeah,
that's factoids under my brain.
Probably the worst part is the same year too. It's not even the same day and month. The same fucking year. Yeah, so we legitimately share a birthday. But I do bring it back around with the fact that I share a birthday with Boris Karloff. So, freaking
Oh,
Frankenstein.
okay. That's a good
So
one to
that
have.
one, that one I will take. That gets me some points back. I like that.
That I think that's more than enough to offset the Miley Cyrus, negative points. So you're back in the positive.
Yeah, I did. I'm out of the hole, as they say on Jeopardy. Yeah, I think I'm good now. I am not gonna find. Just looking for a fucking picture, and I'm not gonna find it because none of this shit is ever the same. Anywho. Now I'm trying to find a picture of Loomis. That's all right. Next point is a plot.
Now, is it old or new Loomis? That's old Loomis. Which one is it?
Yeah. Wow, I messed up one time. And he's right. I'm sorry. How many times have you been on the show? Hold on. What did Nick say? Is Frank having a heavy flow? I'll never. Actually, no, I don't know where you live. I forgot you moved. I'll find you, most.
Frank's not here tonight because he was working and he fell on a stick and unfortunately it went up somewhere he needs to pull it out of, so he's not grabbing it. That's why he couldn't be here.
Just be careful of the little knobs in there.
Thoughts and prayers to Frank because he needs it right now. So.
Yeah, that's what you get when you do stuff live. So you're gonna deal with it, man. I'm an actor, and especially live, I have to do it in front of people, and I have to improv and go with it. So
yeah, sometimes he almost cuts his finger off. Sometimes he messes up. It is what it is.
It's not like people come here expecting some high budget like Mr. Beast.
People don't expect excellence when they watch this show. Are you new? Like, what are you talking about?
No. If you're here and you're still here, I mean, you know why. You know why you're here.
Number one, thank you for being here, but
Oh yeah. That's because that's part of the. If I did everything right, I mean, it wouldn't be funny when I do something wrong. So, we'll see what happens next week. Anywho, while I was rudely getting interrupted, I need a picture. Let's use that. That's a cool picture. So we can talk about the plot. Yeah, so we know about the plot. Yeah, I would definitely agree. This is more of a Laurie kind of focused movie, which I said in the last one. I was like, I feel like this is all, Michael, and Laurie's kind of an afterthought. It's like you already know the story of the first Halloween. So I don't need it really explained to me. I know what happens. He comes after Laurie when she's babysitting and, fall off the balcony, all that jazz. But this one does deal with the fallout of those events from a year prior. And Laurie
the director's cut it to 2 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck, I don't know. See what I mean?
This is why I'm here. I can bring the nerd points on this one. We're good. I got us.
Please do. Well, see, I'm glad about that actually, because while I understand, I'm like, she had a traumatic event. Now she has nowhere to live. I mean, now she lives with Annie and her dad, which is cool.
Right.
But I'm like, I know it's not a phase. Now all of a sudden she's grungy, fucking emo Laurie Strode. And I'm like,
now she went from all American Girl to Manson Girl in a year, which makes so much sense in the theatrical cut. Yeah.
I was like, maybe if it was 2 years, I'd understand a little more, because that was a pretty traumatic thing to go through. But so yeah, and then she gets the big truth bomb of finding out she's related to Michael Myers, which that sucks. But what do you think of this plot? Does this plot work for you? I mean, I'm assuming there's two different. You said two different versions of the movie. I don't know if one makes any more sense than the other.
The unrated director's cut. Well, that's the main way that most people see this movie now. You kind of I think the only way I've seen the theatrical cut of this is Fandango and a couple other places. Normally, you get the director's cut's only 15 minutes longer. It's not basically what the difference in the director's cut and the theatrical is. You get a bunch more story info on Laurie, of her process of how she goes through, and the ending is about 75% different. But I like the director's cut of this film. You were exactly right a second ago. This is Laurie Strode. And think about what she looked like in this movie, and think about how Michael looked in the original film. When we first see him, he was in a Kiss t-shirt. What do we see Laurie in this movie? What does Michael look like after he's been through all that he has? He's wearing the mask that has the messed up face and everything else. Now Laurie, her actual face has stitches that look kind of similar to what Michael's mask looked like. They both went kind of crazy. Now, that whole plot thread of the white horse, literally, Rob added that in because one day as he was going to set, he saw a white horse on the side of the road. He's like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to put that in the movie. That was just literally thrown the fucking out.
All right.
Like, literally, like, yeah, he just told you, he's like, yeah, I saw a white horse. It looked good. So I made something up. But why not? He had every right to. But plot-wise for this film this is, once again, this is the whole making of a murderer, but it's Laurie's version. And but what Rob was smart about, once again, look at Halloween Ends. We had the whole Corey Cunningham connection to Michael, yada yada. Jamie in Halloween 4 had a connection to Michael. So he borrowed, he took from the past of Halloween of that whole psychic connection with the family lineage and the family ties that Jamie had to her uncle with Michael. But this time it was the sister with Laurie, and Laurie was the star of this film. And the conspiracy theory that I was talking about a minute ago is, I believe prior to the studio stepping in and telling Rob, no, you can't do this, I don't think Michael Myers was ever going to be in this film. I think it was going to be revealed that Laurie killed everybody within this film, and I'll tell you exactly why. They set her up exactly on the same journey as they did Michael. She's nuts. I think from the moment where Loomis puts that book out and she reads I'm Angel Myers, boom, that's when she snaps. That's when she goes through all the therapy, gets even worse, and really goes off. I firmly believe, and once again, that's pulling from another, I believe it was Halloween Returns. There was a script where Michael Myers, they were basically doing a Friday 5 where you would see Michael, but it wouldn't be revealed till the end of the movie. Oh, only the killer actually saw Michael, and that killer was going to be Laurie. Because with Rob Zombie coming out and saying, they didn't let me make the movie I wanted to, but we still rock. I think that's what he was going for. Because if you look at so many things, Michael Myers just walking with his hood up, going through the field, that could everything that Michael does in this movie could very easily be explained as a ghostly apparition, or it wasn't really there if you wanted it to. And I would have loved to have seen the version of this movie, because Rob really wanted to tell the Laurie side where he didn't really get to in the first one. She was very, very much a kind of a bystander in her own movie. Hell, Annie had as much screen time as Laurie did in the original Halloween. But for the plot that we did get, I enjoy it because it's literally it's that journey into madness. Joker's famous phrase of it only takes one bad day. Well, Laurie had hers, and look what the fuck happened. Hers just got really, really, really bad. And on top of hers, she also had a congenital family bloodline curse that you're basically going to, become a monster if you, don't watch out. So, yeah, I dig this plot. I like the psychological nature of it, because think about it. This was 10 Halloween movies, Steve. You have to do something different if you're going to be 10 movies into that. And Rob knew that. Rob had the balls to step out and say, hey, I'm going to make a Michael Myers movie. He's going to be brutal, but we're going to tell the Laurie side of this. And for all those people that preach about how great H2O is and how Laurie's story in the Blumhouse, blah, 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 whatever, this version of Laurie never gets praised because most people think she's either too whiny or she's too nuts. And that just doesn't make sense to
me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like the duality of that. It's like, when you see her in the first movie, she is just kind of, like a typical teenager, just kind of quirky and just maybe a little naive, but then when you go through something with a killer as brutal as Michael Myers, especially in this version that we get, that'll fuck you up a little bit. I wish I had a better. It was too dark, but I had a better shot of her. I like that shot of her right after she's walking up the street with the gun still in her hand. She's covered in blood.
Oh
And
yeah,
Sheriff Brackett like finds her. I'm like, and she's just in like this weird like psychosis of like still reeling from it. It's like, yeah, I mean that'll do a number on you. My one thing that fucking Rachel said to me, like, we're a few minutes into like seeing how like Laurie's life is now. After we, I'm gonna get so mad at this. After we wasted almost half an hour of the movie being like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that was a dream." I'm like, "Fuck you! Don't ever do that to me again." What the fuck was that? I was wondering. I was like, at first, I'm like, "This is a dream, isn't it?" Like, it could be a dream. Then it went on for so long where I'm like, "Oh, okay, it probably isn't." Like, this is cool because
I think that pissed off more people than anything in this movie, to be honest with you.
Well, because I was like, "Oh, this is cool. This is kind of like the original Halloween 2, like where it's in the hospital." I'm like, "Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You got some shots. Where is that? Like this? Like you got the shot of him coming down the stairs and shit." I'm like, "Yeah, you got some stuff to."
The whole dumpster full of people.
Yeah, like some shots from like the one from 1981. I'm like, "That's cool." But you went. I'm like, you have like a 2-hour movie and you spent half of an hour of it just like giving me a middle finger. Where I'm like, okay, okay. Well, that was fun because I mean, I was intrigued because I'm like, damn, how do you get out of this? Like, she's still very recently still like getting bandaged up. She got a boot on her leg and her arms in a cast, and she's like running through the rain trying to get away from Michael Myers. I'm like, well, good luck to you, I guess. I mean, after he killed the poor guy from Office Space, the swamp ride enthusiast from
Poor Buddy, the security guard. He didn't
Buddy the
deserve
security
it.
guard. No, he didn't. It sucks. But yeah. So disregarding all that, because I'm going to, I was like, okay, so now I understand she had this traumatic event. She's trying to move on with her life, and I get it. She's 18. I'm sorry. Let me go back to what Rachel said to me. She's like, "Why is she still living in Haddonfield?" She's like, "I would have been the fuck out of there." Like, right after
that's the same thing. Jamie, look at the entire Blumhouse trilogy of Halloween. Why the fuck is Laurie still there? She spent 40 years in Halloween, or in not Halloween, but in Haddonfield.
Yeah. I get her motivation was like, "Oh, I'm like waiting for Michael to come back so I can kill him." I was like, okay, what reason did Laurie have to stay? I'm like, I assume because she like graduated the year before. I'm like, now she's like what, 18, 19, maybe almost 20 now. I'm like, you can leave, like you're an adult.
I'm figuring, well, knowing how mentally stable she is in this movie, well, two reasons how I would answer that. Number one, she's not the most mentally stable in the world. She probably can't provide for herself and keep a home. But two, Sheriff Brackett, I'd be willing to bet he moved heaven and hell to get her to stay with him because he knew the secret of her family bloodline and to protect her. That's what I would say.
I mean, because then there wouldn't be a movie. I understand, but
yes, that's the easy answer. But story wise, if I were justifying it, that's the two reasons that I would say.
Well, I would say even before, like she doesn't know the truth yet. I was like, now after that, I mean, I kind of because I like that scene of her coming back home to Annie's house and like grabbing all her stuff and just dipping out. I was like, yeah, no, I understand. That makes sense to me. I'm like, if you found that shit out, yeah, you just want to leave.
Right, of course.
No, that makes sense. But I also went way too fast to it. I thought the party scene was different because I'm like, didn't her friend get like choked in the van? I don't know if it happened in this movie.
Oh, Harley. Yeah, Harley gets choked in the van. Yeah. Harley dressed up like Tim Curry from a Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Tim Curry. Every time she was like, I'm a girl dressed up like a guy who wants to be a girl. I'm like, are you the dude playing another dude? And like every time she fucking said it, I couldn't help it.
I like her line in the director's cut. It's the guy's taking her back to the van and she's like, he says, let's see, how does it go? She goes, or no, she says to him, "Oh, so y'all called a blowjob now, huh? I call it sucking dick. You know, she's just so matter of fucking fact about it. She's just a fucking
Well, yeah,
she's
like
fun in this movie. I like her.
she's kind of funny. She like when she just
Yeah.
grabs the guy and he's just talking. She's like, "Okay, shut up. Talking isn't working." I'm like, he's like, "Yeah,
Oh,
okay." I'm like,
do I need to
like, dude, you got that back to your van. Shut your mouth. You're like digging a hole.
Do I need
bro.
to show the old man my tits again or something along those lines?
Oh, do I need to show the hippie my tits again? Yeah. Because of course the tiebreaker
She's
is like,
obviously
she's like, I want to go out and
a
party, and her
fun
friend's like, maybe we shouldn't. And then her friend's like, well, you know my answer. I'm always down to party. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's not the girl you married. That's the girl you meet right. That's the girl you meet right before you meet the girl you marry, so you get all that fun times out of the way. Okay, wild oats have been sowed. You know, that's that kind of girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, not like I said, I liked that this one was again a little more focused on Laurie and getting. Now we got the truth out there that she finds out she's related to Michael Myers. I wasn't sure about the. I liked the whole. Well, where's that picture? I got a picture here where Sheri Moon's doing her best Pamela Voorhees because I'm like, oh, we're in a shack with my dead
Kill for
mom.
mommy. Yeah.
I was like, I think I've seen this movie before too. I mean, okay.
There's Jason heavily influenced this version.
Oh yeah,
sure.
I don't doubt it. I like the ghostly version of Deborah Myers, and I kind of like the fact that like it gets a little Star Warsy where I'm like, you see the kid Michael Myers, and I'm like, oh, I get it because it's like the soul of him being like a kid, and there's him now who's I guess is in a physical world. That would have been kind of wild if that wasn't actually him. He would literally be the boogeyman if that wasn't actually him, and it was just Laurie doing all this shit. Like that would be kind of insane.
And it's like the scenes where Kid Michael is there even when Laurie's not. Basically, Rob's justification was he wanted a way for Michael to be able to communicate, but obviously you couldn't have grown Michael just having conversations. So he kept Kid Michael around in those ghost scenes with, Mom Voorhees. And fun fact, by the end of this movie, when Michael takes Laurie and Loomis into the barn at the end, there was going to be like 30 little kid Myers that Laurie saw because they're having like this shared vision, and she's like losing her mind. But Rob was like, yeah, I'm not working with 30 kid actors on this movie. There ain't no fucking way.
No.
So that was changed. So
yeah. Not. And I appreciate the because when I was wondering, like, okay, is she having the weird telepathic thing like with Michael, like we did with Annie? Well, not Annie, but that character from 4 and 5.
Jamie from Halloween 4. Yeah.
Jamie. So I'm like,
tell me where he is.
Are we doing that, or are we like, because when she has the nightmare of like where she kind of recreates what Michael did in the first movie when he kills Ronnie, but she kills Annie. Yeah, in the dream. And I was like, is she just now having like these psychopathic tendencies because she's a Myers? I mean, I'm assuming that's what this is telling me. Like, why she's dreaming this kind of thing. Like, might.
I need to know where Rob Zombie got a clear. I need to know where he got a plexiglass coffin because I want to buy one for decoration. That would be fucking incredible to have.
That was some Saw level type of shit. That was cool. Like the
whole skeleton with the Myers mask on, and like the pumpkin table, like it's the Last Supper, and everything else. That's that esoteric stuff that Rob Zombie. It was like he was shooting one of his music videos. Is what that was.
I know. It's like we always call back to like, well, yeah, it's the music video deal. That's kind of what we're seeing here. Which fair enough. Like every time we see Sheri Moon, we're like, oh yeah, it's another music video section. Like, some of it's kind of cool though. There's some cool shots of it.
She looked eerily similar to what she did in the Living Dead Girl music video in this movie, by the way. Like it was basically the same costume and makeup.
I was wondering if it was supposed to be Living Dead Girl because I'm like, yeah, that's what we know you as, Sheri Moon. Damn. Somewhere there's a really sick shot of her in the coffin. I'll find it. What's next? Oh, thoughts on the Rob Zombie storyline as a whole? So I guess if you watched 1 and 2 back to back, I mean, this timeline, like what's your thoughts on that? I mean, because I know we have all the other movies, even if they're retconned, but I
Right.
mean, by comparison, I mean,
Well, it's like I've already said. This is my preferred and my favorite timeline of the Halloween films. To me,
sure.
it's the most complete. It's the best telling of the story for a few reasons. One, because these movies weren't recast by other actors. They weren't kind of sharing roles as much. They came out close enough to where we got the whole story. Especially if you watch the unrated director's cut, it's really definitive because everybody besides Sheriff Brackett is fucking dead. So whatever. Which, of course, with Michael Myers, I know that means nothing. But I like this timeline. Of course, being Rob Zombie, I'm not even going to be unbiased because I'm not capable of doing that. I like what he was able to do with it, give it fresh perspective. And even though the majority of people think this is just dog water, I like where Rob Zombie went, even with all the studio interference and just bullshit that he had to deal with. Even with all that being said, let's be honest. There's what 4 or 5 different Halloween timelines. Are any of them really that good? I mean, look at what Blumhouse did by the end of Halloween Ends. You can't tell me that's better than this storyline. At least Michael Myers wasn't a weird hobo guy that did horrible things. I don't know. It was dumb. But I like the storyline. I think it works. It's my, on the, pick your own adventure time or IP that is Halloween. This is my number one go to. I dig
I know I've mentioned that this has the effect of the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, where I'm like, I did not hate the prequels like some people did when it came out. I did not hate those. I knew they were different.
I liked all of them as they came out. I'll be honest with you. I love them.
Yeah, no, I like the originals, of course, and then I grew up in the era of the prequels, so I was like, no, this is just Star Wars to me. I'd seen the originals, and I remember I have an eye for older movies, obviously, so I'm not like, oh, it's old and it's meh, and I like the new stuff. It's flashy. I'm like, no, I appreciated 1 through 6 as it was, and I don't know, it can't be me getting bitter in my semi old age. I'm like, no, what the hell was that? And a lot of people are kind of reeling back, where they're like, oh yeah, maybe this wasn't as bad as we thought. I'm like, no, it was never that bad, but it could be worse. So I liked the first 2 of like the sequels or the 2018 Halloween Kills. I liked those, but I was just kind of like, yeah, like we mentioned on the last one, like I don't need 80-year-old Michael Myers getting his
Yeah,
ass kicked in
nobody
a
does.
sewer, getting his ass kicked in a
Yeah.
sewer by a guy who's like 100 pounds soaking wet. I'm like, what?
And then,
So
okay, and just for comparative sake here, Laurie at least, okay, let's say she's 18 in this group, right? She
I think
doesn't
she is.
do anything like, she doesn't really like fight and kill anybody. You can believe her in this movie. And Halloween Ends, Corey Cunningham was like a mid-20s guy that gets beat up by high school band nerds, and then all of a sudden he becomes the new Shape. Really? And he
Dude,
gets thrown off of a bridge and just gets up like it's nothing. Like what are we get like, for anybody who praises Halloween Ends over this, you need your eyes and your
no.
head checked because there's no comparison to it. Well, it's if you just look at comparative wise, take Halloween 6 because that was kind of, well, you can't really use Halloween 6. Take I guess technically Resurrection. Take Rob Zombie Halloween 2 and Halloween Ends. All of them had controversial endings. None of them are great, I guess you could say. But comparatively, I would argue strongly that this is better than all of those put together.
I can agree. Like I said, I like that this is in that era again of the really brutal second wave gore porn type shit where I'm like,
Oh, it's amazing.
it's an update. It's like really brutal, and I'm like, yeah, that's what we all kind of expect this to be. Like we expect a
Right.
Jason or a Michael to be, because that's how the character is.
Oh,
So, or even a Leatherface, So, um, yeah, I like this, and I mean, I do like that it's a two-part kind of, like I said, like Michael is kind of the focus of the first one, and it's like it's even still when you know that it's the story of the '78 movie, where it's like it's supposed to be Laurie, but it's like you're not really. You spent so much time focusing on Michael that I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes it his thing, and then you deal with
right.
the after effects of that, like where, yeah, we know who Michael is, and he looks like fucking Forrest Gump when he ran across the U.S. like 4 times. He walks in his little tattered robes and his big ass Santa beard, walking back to Haddonfield, while
Right.
Laurie's just again like he's having the worst goddamn time of her life. Um, so yeah, no, I like this. I like this better. I'm sure it isn't everyone's cup of tea. Like I said, I didn't hate it, but like there were some things where I was like, what are we doing?
Oh, and don't get me wrong,
It's-
there's questionable stuff within this movie. I
oh
hate
yeah, I'm like,
I hate how little we got of Loomis, and the behind the story of that is basically
yeah,
Malcolm McDowell was late coming to this. Like he was one of the last things that they added to this film, which kind of
that's
adds to the sense of why we get so little of him and why everything of his is disconnected. They didn't have a whole lot of days with Malcolm McDowell. So we're,
yeah.
I think they shot all of his stuff within a couple of days. He wasn't on set for the entire time. Besides that one scene at the end, he doesn't really
And
talk to anybody besides the dad that tries to shoot him in the bookstore, the assistant, and the redhead he tries to, get with.
and then
So,
Chris Hardwick. And that's pretty
and
much
then
it.
Chris Hardwick, and then oh yeah, we feel real bad for you, So, but yeah, it's that's my main criticism of this movie is if Loomis is alive, he needs to be present, and he wasn't, which is another reason why I say my theory about. Which, to be fair, this isn't just initially my theory. Others have said it, but originally, when Rob wrote this movie, Michael Myers was just going to be a figment in Laurie's head and not real, and she was actually killed. I think that was real,
Oh,
and
well,
somehow it was going to be resolved. I think that's what it was going to be. I really and truly do.
that would have been kind of cool. Like you could have still played with that angle that they talk about in the very beginning when people of Haddonfield are like not sure. They're like, is Michael Myers dead? Like, is he? They
Right.
don't know because like we never found him.
There's
So I'm
been
like,
multiple
you could have
Halloween
played with
scripts
that.
that we're going to do that, so why not do it here?
Yeah, yeah, you could have played with that notion a little more. If you still wanted to make Laurie end up being the one at the end, which is one hell of a twist. So,
Right.
oh god, at least it would have been done better than High Tension, because that movie tried to do that and it just does not fucking work.
Right. And to be fair, to be a little biased, I guess, I'm not saying this is a perfect plot line or this doesn't have any plot holes. There's many plot holes in this.
Oh yeah,
I just think that even with all of the flaws like the Loomis stuff, did we really need Weird Al here? I don't think that we did. I think we could have done without that.
whoa,
Right.
whoa, 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 whoa,
You know.
whoa! Everything
Oh,
needs Weird Al. Do not besmirch this man's name. He
I'm
doesn't
not
need to explain
besmirching.
why he's there. No, hold on.
I
That
just
also
think,
means that Weird Al does literally exist in this universe because he is just playing
yeah.
himself. I love
Oh,
that
yeah.
for him.
Oh, that was like because the story goes that Rob Zombie tells. Rob was talking to Chris Hardwick, and he was like, "Yeah, we need one more person for the guest segment of this part of the movie." And Hardwick brought up, "Well, I just had dinner with Weird Al. I could call him." And his only requisite was, "I get to pick my own clothes." That's all he cared about. He just showed the fuck up. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I think that was one of the. Yep, that was one of the trivia. Well, thank you for that. But I mean, it's Weird Al, so
Yeah, it's
no,
Weird
that's
Al.
fine. That's
But
fine.
like I said, is there plot holes? Yes, there. But a film that has yet to be made that doesn't have this is a drastically different Halloween film than anything we've ever got. But let's be real. Halloween Resurrection happened before this. Do we really want to go fucking compare it here, people? At least Michael Myers didn't get kung fu'd by a shitty rapper. So, just saying.
I don't know what the hell we were doing with that movie. I really don't.
Neither did Miramax. And that's the problem. Nobody knew what they were doing with that.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a pretty good segue into, movies that could have been or should have been. The next one is actually what could have been the Halloween 3D movie, which
oh yeah,
I think I can just give the reins to you because I don't know a damn thing about that. Like you said, he had a 3-movie contract, right? So like, what was the idea for that? Like, where was this going to go afterwards? Like, were you follow Laurie maybe or something?
From the script, I read the script years ago, and the gist of it basically is Michael and Laurie go on a killing spree together. Once again, Michael is revived somehow at this point. They should just make him a real fucking zombie, since Rob Zombie is making these things. Now, Rob Zombie was not going to be brought back to direct because Rob Zombie, he got out of his 3-picture deal. That was one of the negotiations that he had. He was like, look, I'll come back and do Halloween 2, but you let me out of my 3-picture contract. So that was their compromise, whatever. So a couple people that did, I believe it was a couple people that wrote some of the like mid Saw films, like Saw 4, 5, and 6. Maybe My Bloody Valentine. I can't remember exactly. But some people who had written late horror sequels had been brought in to make a Halloween 3D. And I'm not a big 3D fan. It honestly gives me a headache, and I don't need it. But basically, the storyline was going to be Michael comes alive. He breaks Laurie out of Smith's Grove. They go on a killing spree together. Laurie has a whole new set of friends because they always do that in horror films. These people who are weirdos have a whole crop of new, pretty friends that they just met that you've never seen them before. And, one by one, people die. And by the end of the film, Laurie was, she basically hands the knife to Michael and says, kill me. I'm not like you. I can't do this. He kills her. Cops kill him. Boom. That was it. Now, of course, it was going to be very Rob Zombie-ish, a lot of hot women. It was going to be made in the style of the first 2 Rob Zombie films, just to match it all. But Rob would not have been attached from what I've
read. I don't know how you would do that. I'm curious to know who was going to take that over then, if that was the case. But
yeah, I can't remember exactly who it was. I've heard a couple different names, but by the end of this movie, like, once again, so many people, like, Rob Zombie and John Carpenter are very similar when it comes to Halloween. They did one, and then they had to be drugged back to do another one. And by the third one, they wanted no part of it. So I guess that means in another 40 years, Rob Zombie's going to come back to do the score for Halloween 55 and a half or whatever, because John Carpenter came back in 2018. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and I want to know about like this shit here, where I'm like, okay, did she die? Is this some weird vision? I know she can see the dead Sheri Moon Zombie, but I'm like, is she in Smith Grove, or is she like dead now and they're all together? Like, the family's all dead and together now in some weird afterlife. Like, and we're assuming that Michael died too, because Laurie stabbed the absolute shit out of him in that barn after he killed Loomis. So,
well, see, that was going to be one of the retcons. Was they were going to retcon the ending of Halloween 2. She didn't stab Michael; she actually stabbed Loomis. And in the theatrical cut of this movie, the shot you're looking at is actually happening. Laurie's alive in Smith's Grove. In the director's cut, she picks up the knife after she stabs and does everything else. Cops shoot her as well. She's dying, and as she's dying, this is the vision that you get. Then they cut out of it, and you see all 3 of them dead on the ground. So depending on which, because
Yeah.
Well, Rob was trying to end it all. Of course, the studio was like, "No, we're going to keep making this because money," and that's why
Well,
you
so
have
you
two
don't kill
sub.
Michael Myers.
Right. That's why there's like a 75% difference on the ending, depending on which one you're watching. That's why it's so drastic.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, with this, we're like, I get the vision of like now, because she's looking down the hallway and seeing her mom come up with the white horse, and I'm like, this is the other end of the room. It's just her with her little table, chair, and her bed. And I'm like, psych wards aren't that. Her room wouldn't be that big. So I'm like, I'm assuming this is some weird vision she's having. And that would have made more sense if it was the ending where she died. I'm like, okay, that was kind of the point. Is it seemed like they were trying to take her, like take her soul and like bring it. Where's that? I found the picture finally. Like this cool ass shot here with her in the coffin.
That's great. Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm like, yeah, if that was the point. That's some My Chemical Romance. That's some sad kid shit right there. I love that.
Right.
It was like a My Chemical Romance music video.
My favorite shot of when in that scene is like the little flashes of Annie and Laurie like screaming into the camera, and Laurie's got like the upside down cross, painted on her forehead, and they're just screaming fuck, shit, blah blah blah, whatever. They're just going off. That now if you're prone to seizures, I don't recommend watching that shot because
I don't recommend watching either of these because you're gonna have a bad time with some seizures.
Very Strode may have issues with it, but assuming that you're not, it is a very visual music video esque thing.
It's almost like the director's like a musician or something. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like he's like made music videos or something like that. If not, he should do those. He's really good at it.
Yeah, we should sing a little bit too. Hey, you know what? Hey, but you keep putting that lady in all your movies. You put her in the music videos too. It'd be fucking phenomenal.
I hope he's hitting that because he keeps her around for some goddamn reason.
It's like I hope he marries her or something.
Oh,
maybe on some special day. Maybe on some special day like Halloween. That is cool.
Rob Zombie got married on Halloween. You know that motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure that is what they did. I'm fairly certain they actually got married on Halloween, which is kind of awesome.
I ever legally married again. By God, we're doing it on a Halloween, right? I'm sure with that. So,
hell yeah. Everybody's gonna dress up. I would dress up. Shit. Okay. What if 3D? Yeah. You know what that reminds me of now? I don't know if it's actually still going to happen or not. When they're talking about making an I Am Legend 2 with Will Smith, I'm like,
oh, yeah.
Breaks.
They were going to retcon the ending of him blowing up.
Yeah. I'm like, hold on, he died. Now, there was an alternate ending, which was actually closer to the book of like what actually happened, where he didn't die. I like it. I liked it better because I'm like, it's the same realization in the movie. I'm on a side track here. Sorry, where he realizes that he's actually the monster. It's the weird evolutionary thing of like, you think because you're the human, like you're the.
Wait, is that the one that was going to have Michael B. Jordan in it? I remember hearing something about that.
I keep hearing his name floating around that movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's supposed to. I don't know who he's supposed to be. But yeah, it's like it was the fact that like this was evolutionary, like what was going to happen. These they're not really like zombies, not really vampires either. Whatever these things are supposed to be. It's like that he's the monster to them. So it's a weird like he realizes, oh, I'm actually like the monster, and like he steps back and like gives back the test subject they took from that. He realizes that's why these zombies keep chasing him is because he took like the alpha female or some shit, and he gives her back, and it's like there is that weird sort of humanity between the two of them where they like the zombies stop attacking him because he realizes, oh, that's what he wants, so he gives her back, and they just kind of leave him alone and kind of have like a little little moment like looking at each other like, right.
Hopefully,
and he lives.
if they
I'm
do
like, okay,
another
here's your story.
Hopefully, the CGI monsters are better than that first one was. I want to say it was last year I rewatched I Am Legend, and holy shit, that one does not age well. That one looks rough, but
it's not good.
Yeah, it's looking like some fucking PlayStation 2 graphics in a movie.
It was a good movie, but man, those zombies are.
Oh yeah, it's a good film. I enjoy it. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is I'm like, you have an alternate ending of like that has to be your ending now then, because you can't. He literally died in the theatrical version. I'm like, no, the actual ending that was the ending from the book. Like I said, he did live, so
Yeah.
life carries on. So I'm
Well,
like,
and
you have to
I
make it
get
the one where Laurie didn't die, and Michael never fucking dies. Doesn't matter how many times you shoot him, blow him up, fucking stab him. It doesn't matter. That you can explain
well,
away.
that's
But
what I'm
Laurie, I'm like,
saying. That's
make
the
sure
one
he's
thing we've
alive.
never seen. The one thing that we've never seen from Michael Myers is the Part 6 Jason treatment where he just goes full blown zombie. And I actually think
Yeah.
that would be a fun movie to see. To see do a 20 years like do whatever you're gonna do. But have Michael Myers literally, he didn't just magically get better. If you want him to literally be the boogeyman, let us give us a shot of him literally coming out of the grave. He looks zombified and comes out of it. I think that would be an amazing Halloween film to watch. Because ultimately these slashers, that's an inevitable kind of ending with these things. If you keep bringing them back, eventually they have to go skeleton like that. And I just want to see that version of Michael Myers. That could be cool as shit.
You got Michael Matrix back in here. He liked the director ending because Halloween 3 shouldn't exist. I don't know. I'm like I said, if you're going to do it, I'm like, you need them to still be alive, because like you have Michael impaled on these like pieces of rebar and shit. Like you could do the Jason thing, like where dude goes to stab him and he gets lightning rotted back to
He
life.
literally gets the Frankenstein treatment. That's literally what that
right.
was.
I'm like you
Yeah.
could, I guess, but
now, if you said, "Hey, Tex, we're going to make a Rob Zombie Halloween 20 years later," fuck yeah, you've already got my damn money. But
or you could
for story wise, I like the director's ending just for the fact of it wraps it. Very few times do we get good endings in these things, and I like the director's ending of this. Now I feel horrible for Sheriff Brackett because he's literally the only one left. He had to watch his daughter almost die once and then die, and then finally die. He had to watch his adopted daughter get shot by his own cops. He has nothing left. Loomis he ended up being a Dr. Phil-esque shitbag. I would have rewrote that. But
I do like that he punched him right in the fucking mouth as soon as he got there. Put the gun in his face, like, I wish I could kill you right now. I'm like, that's fair.
Oh, and he yeah, well, but see, there is one criticism that I'll make as well. If you're just reading a book and it says, "Hey, Jeremy is related to Charles Manson. He's his son."
Oh boy.
Are you just going to take that on face value, or are you going to do a little research first? It's. I don't think I'm naive enough to just take that on face value and literally uproot my entire life like Laurie does in this film. I mean, I know for story purposes, this isn't like a 10 episode of a Netflix show. You can't explain all that out. You have to just go with it. I understand that. But you could have written it differently where, I don't know. But that's another plot hole that I kind of forgive just because I really enjoyed this.
I kind of had an idea. So, like what you said of like maybe Michael does die, they bury him, and you see a grave that says Myers, and you see Michael's hand come out of the grave. You could keep that intrigue that they had from the other movies, where it's like you don't really explain. It's like he is just pure evil, and that's just the whole explanation. I'm like, he could just be pure evil and just comes back to life because he's evil. Like that's it. Like you don't even have to do the you don't even have to do the fucking Thorn crap again. Like, oh, he's in a cult. Like, sure, I don't care. But just
that could work if you go with the theatrical ending. Like you could somehow. I still say Loomis would have to be dead.
Wait,
I think
maybe Laurie goes to dig him up. She's still alive. Maybe she gets out of fucking Smith's Grove and fucking undigs Michael out of the ground, and that's there you go.
Yeah, you can totally do something like that, especially since that whole. Actually, no, you could do a Friday 7 thing and go with the psychic link between Laurie and Michael in this film, and she wakes him up through her mind. and he digs him to fuck himself out of the goddamn grave as well. There's options here to do this with.
Yeah.
Is it going to make money? Probably not, because people are going to say, "Ooh, that's a Rob Zombie thing," because they're a bunch of punk bitches and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But there's I mean, just like Frank says, your one line of dialogue of explaining anything away. You could do a third one. It's not that hard. But I think for theme purposes and storytelling wise, that's why that director's ending works so well for me. We get to see Laurie go full bore to the other side, and we're out. I think it works well.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's the last? Oh, trivia. Woo. Which we probably already did most of it, but
Tuesday we probably said most. Fuck it, we're here. We'll do it live.
Fuck yeah, we'll do it live. I do have this cool fucking shot of Forrest, Michael, and fucking his mom.
I do have to mention Michael's look in this film. For him not wearing the mask, you can't see who that fucking is with that hood up and that beard. I love his look in this film. People have asked for 40 years, oh, well, what does Michael do 364 days out of the year? Well, Rob Zombie answered that for him. He, kills people's dogs and eats their, farm, produce. He looks like this, this makes sense. I like it.
Pretty much. What's the first? When Rob Zombie had to have a few days worth of footage shipped off for developing at the start of production, the film canisters were accidentally x-rayed by airport security, thereby ruining the film reels and forcing several days worth of reshoots. That sucks.
Yep.
Damn.
Then one of the main scenes that had to be reshot was the opening with the whole cow and everything else. That was one of the more expensive shots, because you had to have a van and a cow that can explode. And the first crew that they brought in, they're like, oh yeah, this van will just crumble and the cow will just explode. They didn't know what they were talking about. None of the effects worked, so they had to bring in another crew, and it was a whole thing. But yeah, some idiot x-rayed at the damn airport, caused them work and money.
Got a cool shot of Michael here with that one. I love that shot. Apparently John Carpenter was offered a cameo in the film by Rob Zombie, but he turned it down. I don't know who he would have been, but sure.
At this point, John Carpenter was still jaded about Halloween. Hell, I think prior to this, well, no, it was whenever they were going to make H2O. He basically said, "Give me $10 million and I'll come back." And they're like, "No, fuck you. We're not giving you $10 million to direct it." And that's why he didn't come back until 2018. And the only two reasons why John Carpenter came back was one.
Really, him and his son did it. Like his son.
Yeah, and then he got to do the soundtrack with his boy or grandson. I think it's his grandson. I'm not for sure either way. But yeah, he got to do the soundtrack with his, bloodline there. So, but no, John Carpenter. All John Carpenter wants to do is smoke cigarettes and play video games. That's all he wants to do these days. So,
and fucking, that sounds like a great life, honestly.
Consider he made $70 million off of the first Halloween alone. He can do whatever he wants. So
I was like, I don't think he doesn't need to do it. I don't think he really.
No, he's John Carpenter doesn't like the Halloween sequels. They literally had to sue the man to get him to write the second one. He's not coming back for a cameo. All right, it ain't gonna happen.
No. Oh, Michael brings up a good point. At least he doesn't kill kittens, I guess.
Yeah.
Michael does not like Chinese food. Never would have guessed.
I've never understood that. Like, I mean, I love animals. I've got many, but I'm not so many people get sensitive about animals dying in a film. It's not fucking real. Like,
because we had a whole fucking series about why you don't do that, and Keanu Reeves killed motherfucking everybody over that dog.
I know, it's just I've listened to movie reviewers over the years. Oh, I'm not watching that. They kill a poor whatever. It's like these weirdo animal activists. But
I mean, I don't want to. It's still sad, but I'm just like, he. I just quote Loomis. I'm like, I guess he got hungry again. Like that's where I'm at with it.
Like, he's on a farm. Are there no cows to kill or anything? You can get a lot more meat off of one of those. Like,
I'm surprised he didn't do that.
Maybe he just likes dog. Maybe he's got a taste for it. But this version of Michael Myers, he starts out killing it, so it makes sense story wise. Mm-hmm. At least story wise, it makes
sense. That's fair. I see Dr. Loomis. Malcolm McDowell quotes Alex DeLarge, the character he played in A Clockwork Orange. God, I can't talk. During the press conference when he says, "Let's get things nice and sparkling clear."
Yeah. Well,
which I actually he also there's a remake of that fucking shot from the first movie. I meant to use that one instead. Yeah, there's that.
He also quotes the original Dr. Loomis in Halloween and said, "Get your ass away from there, Lonnie. Get your ass into the limo and stay there." So he even kind of riffs on that a little bit too. They're paying homage to different stuff, and you can't use Malcolm McDowell in a horror film and not do something Clockwork Orangey at some point. Like, you kind of have to do that, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, we already mentioned this, but Weird Al Yankovic's only condition to appear in the film was that he got to pick his own clothes, and I mean that's a very Weird Al-ish. That's actually pretty tame for Weird Al. Little weird shirt, some jeans. I'm like, yeah, all right, man. You're sure.
I'm just not a Weird Al guy. I've never been a Weird Al fan. Never my thing.
I've been a Weird Al fan. I like him.
Hell, we even reviewed UHF on here. It's a fine movie. I'm just not I'm not a Weird Al guy. I've never a little Weird Al goes a long way with me. So.
He's gonna be at the Comic-Con I go to here in a short amount of time. Like it's tempting. Very tempting.
Oh, there you go.
But I also did just see that freaking Cheech and Chong are both gonna be there. I'm like, see, you're killing me because I want to go see them. That's awesome because they'll do stuff where they're like, here, you can meet individually, or like they'll do group stuff where it makes sense. Like, here's all the Star Trek people, or here's all the stuff people from Clerks. You can do a photo shoot with both Cheech and Chong together. I'm like, no, that might be worth it. That would be a cool photo.
Hell yeah!
I might have to consider that one. Caroline. Okay. I have one shot of her because the rest of it was blurry as shit.
Oh, Stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, old Stretch. Yep. Caroline Williams cameos in the film as Dr. Maple, one of the surgeons who mends to Laurie's injuries in the operating room. And like we said, she plays Stretch from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 from 1986. Rob Zombie is a fan of the franchise, which I guess none of us could have guessed, and asked her to be in the film. Yeah. I was watching it. I was like, why do you look familiar? Oh, yeah, Texas Chainsaw 2. I remember you now.
I'm sorry, but her chainsaw dance at the end of 2 where she couldn't get the saw any higher than waist level and just spins like a 5-year-old. It's still hilarious to watch, by the way.
The chainsaw was about as big as she is if you watch that scene.
That's what I'm saying. She's like, she's using more like a weed eater than a chainsaw. She's holding
it. Look, as somebody who has done that, it's not easy. I mean, it really isn't, but damn, it's going to look a little goofy. Like, there is a way to do it and not look like you're trying too hard.
I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. That's such a good. I mean, as much as I would have wished, as much as I wish Tobe Hooper would have made a more traditional sequel to Texas Chainsaw, a more serious film, more like the original.
Yeah, I just it went too goofy for me. I was like, this is weird, but sure.
Yeah, it's. I mean, when you're mocking the Breakfast Club with the poster of your movie, you know what you're gonna get.
Oh, that's right.
So that's one of my. If I could go back and change a thing, I'd be like, Toby, make a legit chainsaw sequel. Don't just you can fuck around later. That's fine. You can make this version but give us one more solid sequel before somebody tries to go next generation with it and completely
before we start getting really weird.
Right. Give us one more solid, twisted, tale. But yeah, no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Caroline Williams. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
You know,
thank you, Micah. He likes
she's
Texas Chainsaw too, and wish that. What if Rob Zombie remade Texas Chainsaw? Jesus Christ, that'd be insane.
How that hasn't happened? He is
what?
He is perfect for a Texas Chainsaw.
Because he does do the Killer Hillbilly thing. I'm like, dude, you could make a hell of a fucking Texas Chainsaw movie,
I mean,
honestly.
if you want to see his version of Texas Chainsaw, look no further than that film right there, House of a Thousand Corpses.
That's kind of fair.
I want a true. Everybody else has got to make a Texas Chainsaw. You're telling me Rob Zombie couldn't make a better version than most people? Like, you give Rob Zombie $20 million. That's nothing in Hollywood today. Here, Rob, here's $20 million, carte blanche. Go make the most shocking, weirdest Texas Chainsaw film we've ever seen. And if it doesn't work, guess what? There's 15 other Texas Chainsaw Massacre timelines. This will just be another one. What are you losing? They gave one to Netflix where he was an old man and, you know, you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, why not?
Netflix, but I didn't like it either.
There was 2 scenes in that entire Netflix one for the whole movie. Like the Prius scene at the end where the bitch gets her head cut off, and then the bus. The rest of that film is absolute garbage. But yeah.
Because I know you weren't gonna. Marilyn Burns has since passed away, so I'm like.
Right.
But then when I saw, like, oh, you have Sally Hardesty's character in this movie, I'm like, you fucking be careful. You did exactly what I fucking
they completely besmirched Marilyn Burns' legacy with. I mean, I'm not talking.
You turned her into Laurie Strode. You're like, oh, she's been hunting him for like 40 years. I'm like, oh god.
They saw Halloween 2018 and said, "Hold my beer." Is what they is exactly.
Hold up, we're gonna make Sally do the same thing. I'm like, no, don't.
Right.
Don't.
We're gonna do what you did, but 1,000 times worse. Like it was just. It was a travesty.
She should have at least lived. I'm like, it's like you're never gonna kill off the slasher. So I'm like, she didn't have to die though. Like her character didn't have to die.
Funny enough, Halloween 2018, they discounted part 2, which they shouldn't have done. Texas Chainsaw 2022, they don't count any film besides the original. If they wanted to do a legacy sequel, Caroline Williams is in this film. Keep Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 canon and bring her back. You can have the actual actress. It would have been so much better. Just saying. How is it so easy to come up with these ideas? Like, what is wrong with Hollywood? Like, how is this so simple? I don't understand.
Ooh, I gotta get this cool picture of Michael like fading into the sign. That was pretty sweet.
That's cool.
In addition to the studio interference that compromised the production, Rob Zombie also strongly suspected that crew members were stealing money from the film's production budget. What a bunch of bastards.
Probably. Well, I'm not the only one, but I've long suspected that most films are nothing but money laundering schemes. Well, why does it take $20 million extra to make a sequel to something when you already have so much of it already built? But
there's no way some of these movies take like 300 fucking million. There's no way.
Right. It's like, like I said, I think there's a lot of money laundering going on here. But,
somebody owes somebody something, and it's no.
Well, just go listen to just listen to Rob talk about this on anything, but especially on the director's commentary track. The studio, once they got him in the door, they fucked them harder than they did on the first one. And by the end of it, he was like, that's why he didn't make movies for a long time. Because he was just like, fuck you. I'm not doing anything studio. And I can't blame the
guy. I didn't use this. Friggin' Margot Kidder's in this movie.
Margot Kidder.
Just casually. Yeah. Hell yeah, Margot Kidder. Fucking rest in peace, man. Terrible way to go.
Yeah, she had a rough one for sure.
I was wondering, I'm like, wait, when did she? I was like, when did she die? It was about 10 years after this, but still, I mean, it's awful. Like,
yeah, I mean, obviously, Black Christmas, Superman, many other films that she was in. But her scenes, And that's another thing that the director's cut of this film is better for, because you get more of her in this movie. You get very little in the theatrical. If you want to see more of Margot Kidder, go watch the director's cut. You get a good little bit of her more.
I'm glad Micah said this, because I thought that was too. Because remember, I hadn't seen this movie. I didn't know who was in it. So it could have been played by Carrie Fisher, because it reminds me of Carrie Fisher. I was like, I for a fucking legit second thought it was Carrie Fisher, because I'm like, the voice even. I was like, you sound just like her. I looked it up and I was like, oh no, it's Margot Kidder. I'm like, hey, I'm fine with that. That's awesome.
I think the last movie I saw Carrie Fisher alive for was Scream 3. I'm trying to think what else.
Well, I was thinking Fanboys. She played the
Fanboys.
Fanboys.
What year was Fanboys? That was 2000. That was a year before this. Yeah,
I think. Hold on.
She could have done it. Like, I mean, I guess. Well, I mean, with every other one of Rob's films, he always throws in horror icons from all different kinds of things. And I guess he wanted to do a Black Christmas thing with Margot Kidder, honoring her or whatever. Maybe that's what it was. I can't think of Carrie Fisher doing any horror. I'd have to go back and look. I can't remember.
Right. Fanboys was 2009, same year as this movie. So
okay, it was the same year. That's probably why he couldn't get it. I don't know. Hell, he knows.
She didn't have like a huge part, but I mean, still.
Right.
What? If I get a picture of Annie telling the cop what for. I'm not gonna play this game with you. Apparently, the word "fuck" and its derivatives are used 112 times in the film, and I'm sure about 111 of them are from the fucking beginning of the movie.
Oh, Richard Brake, he wore that button out. He hit the spam button on the fuck, like he went hardcore.
The record was skipping a few times, and he kept going with it.
I think he says like 27 or 28 times back to back before Michael
cuts his head off.
saws his head off with a piece of glass, which I don't really think you can cut through a neck bone with a piece of glass. But, hey, that dude's huge. He could probably do it. So that's fine.
He's pure. It's the Batman. It's because he's Batman. That's because he's evil. He can do that. I don't know.
He also dumped the guy's, Jeffrey Dean, the bouncer in the parking lot. He also stomped his head flat like it was made out of, cantaloupe. So he's obviously superhuman. But Richard Brake, he got to get his aggressions out with that scene for sure.
Oh, yeah. What's the last? Loomis. All right. Well, we can say rest in peace to Annie. With this one.
Yeah. Harris did it.
And that's something that also made me mad. It's a cool shot. I couldn't get a really good one of it where she shuts the medicine cabinet, and in the mirror, Michael's just standing behind her.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot. And I love that it's just no sound. It's just her screaming. It's in slow motion. She runs out of the bathroom. And then it cuts to black. And I was like, I swear to Christ, if you cut the black and she just dies, I'm like, she doesn't deserve that.
I actually like. Yeah.
They kind of did. You had to have that scene with Laurie. I'm like, you need to give her that emotional weight of like her dying when Laurie's there. I'm like, yeah, that makes more sense. I was kind of mad. I was like, we didn't see it, but we saw the aftermath. So
I like how it goes silent as she's running out, and then it's it's like you said, it cuts out, and then we hear just this blood curdling, struggling, Michael grunting like he's like a grizzly bear, whatever. And and then once Laurie gets there, that's when all is revealed or whatever. That was cool.
Yeah.
Now, how did you feel about Michael grunting and speaking at the end of this movie situation?
I'm gonna get off Annie here for a second. I think it was when we were in the part where he kills the two. Well, he kills the girl too in the field.
Yeah,
and I'm like, it was at that part where he's like doing that. I was like, Since when? Wait. I
Yeah.
had to stop. Like, since when does he make fucking noise? Like, it's not like he's speaking, but I mean, I'm like, I know
Well,
he
you watched
talks.
the theatrical, so you didn't see the scene at the end where he says "die."
No, because it was Annie. It was Laurie screaming "die" like 30 times as she stabbed him. So I
Yeah, yeah.
wait a minute. You're because no, I did have to have a stop for a moment when he was killing him in the field. And I was like, when does he ever do that? I'm like, he just silently just kills people. I'm like, that's kind of terrifying. I'm like, I I get it. I mean, it is he's getting into it, but and he talked because
No,
he
go
saw
back
him
and
as a kid.
watch at the end where Michael and Loomis crash through the wall. He's maskless. He's looking right at Loomis, screams "die," and then puts that big knife through his gut. I mean, straight up says the word "die." So I didn't
Wait,
know
was
if you
it in
saw
the
that.
was it in the theatrical?
No, they cut that out for that.
I was gonna say because I didn't see. I just saw Laurie
That's
stabbing the
that's
shit
that's
out.
the other main thing that the studio was like,
Oh, that
hey,
would have
we ain't doing that. So
no. See, that would have pissed me the fuck off if all of a sudden he fucking said something.
yeah,
No, I get that one. That one's warranted. Okay, that's
yeah.
good.
Well, they did that because the whole paint, going back to the first movie of, oh well, Michael, I have to leave because you haven't said a word in 15 years and yada yada. That's obviously what they're calling back to. But yeah, that's all. That I think that pissed off more Halloween fans than I think anything did. But yeah, that was a big point of controversy.
Actually, I didn't use this yet. Let's go with what I labeled as Santa Michael. The director. God damn it. Director's cut body count is apparently 20, plus the. I gotta read this whole fucking thing. Plus the two people on screen and the one person off in the opening dream sequence. Well, the dream sequence didn't happen. The theatrical cut is 19. In both cuts, two people are not killed by Michael. There's also a pit of dead bodies that Laurie falls into in the opening sequence, but it's not verified that Michael killed them. It's also a dream sequence. I I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even
I
remember.
mean, I
I don't
I
remember
know
what the
normally the dream sequence thing is like the big no and it pisses people off. But honestly, I kind of like how Rob did it in this movie because in a way, it's like I was saying about what he did with Halloween '07. He gave you the version that you expected, and then he gave you what you wanted. So damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. He gave you a more traditional Halloween too. A enough of it that it felt like it was worthy the 20 or 30 minutes, whatever it was. Now it was a dream, and that's going to piss off a lot of people. But I think he executed that as possibly good as he could have. But some people just hate dream sequences, and I completely understand why.
I
I I don't know.
don't hate dream. I don't hate dreams.
I don't know.
You can have that. She's having the nightmare and she wakes up like, oh crap, and she realizes, oh, this is a year later. This is really happening. I'm like, it's the fact that you drug that out for almost half of a fucking hour and then
Right?
told me
No,
it
I
was a
get
dream. I was
that.
like, okay. I was like, okay, screw you. You don't waste like a fourth of this movie's runtime making a dream sequence. As cool as it
Well,
was, and I was like, you can do that, but like, don't drag it out for that long to where I'm like, this has got to be
it
real. Then I'm
should.
like, oh, this is crazy. But
Looking back, it should have been a dead giveaway that every TV in Haddonfield is watching the Moody Blues from the 1960s, sing "Nights in White Satin" within that first part of the movie.
I was
Like
wondering. I
that
thought it was
should have
supposed to
been.
be a weird. I thought it was supposed to be a weird homage to the
Well,
fact that like we just saw the mom with the horse, and I'm like,
yeah.
sure, I don't know. I don't
Well,
fucking know.
from my best recollecting, the dream sequence starts basically once she gets to the hospital. So realistically, if I had to
Yeah,
place it anywhere, I would say right after the surgery. Like if I had to
mhm.
if I were gonna guess, that's when the dream starts. And everything after until she wakes up and you see the mansion room and whatever, that's obviously the dream territory because it's never really clear exactly where the dream happens. But I believe once she gets to the hospital is when it starts. But this film takes place like I want to say it's like late 90s within the world because, I mean, there's no cell phones. You look at the cars that are around. And I think I did the math one time. It works out to where it's like mid to late 90s when this film takes place. So that's why the Moody Blues black and white television footage being on every TV stands out so much. Which I love that song. It's a great song. But that's kind of your giveaway.
I was wondering if it's supposed to be set in the same, like the current, like early 2000s. I'm like, you could still probably say it was about that time.
Because they stuck to the 15-year time gap.
Well, in that case, it would have been about early 90s, and it's like when the shit happened when he was a kid. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like 90s when this film takes place because, like, you know, from the 70s or whatever. But either way, it pans out. But either way, Moody Blues would not be on every TV in Haddonfield. Like, there would have been something of color, you know. But,
weirder shit's happened. Where's Loomis? I need the last one here. Good shot.
Oh, you this shot.
This is the only Halloween movie where the character of Sam Loomis pretty much dies for certain. He may have been killed at the end of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers from 95, but that was never actually confirmed.
Well, that's another one, depending on which cut you see, you know. And
yeah, I know.
And, you know, and in one, he gets the thorn mark and, you know, screams, no, and then he just whatever. No, it just depends.
Nice. Sure.
Hey, I tell you what, Ether couldn't kill that motherfucker. Somehow he survived in Halloween 2, and all he got was like a Stranger Things looking burn on his cheek. You know, he somehow survived and ended up looking like Vecna for a couple movies until he gets plastic surgery and looks better. So, you know, it's fine.
Well, yeah, because Loomis is known to just. I didn't want to do it again because right in the beginning of this movie, when they wheel everybody out of the house, I'm like, hey, look, Loomis has blood on his face again. When he didn't, apparently. God damn it.
Yeah. That's why I said, it's like I said Tuesday. I think it's at least possible that somebody just used the wrong shot or they didn't do the visual effects on the blood on the eyes. Maybe it's real. I don't know. I have no clue.
The continuity guy was not doing his damn job that day.
Right. Whoever was, you know, script, you know, supervisor continuity wise was not paying attention for that one. So,
yeah. Yeah. No, that's all I got. So give me your final thoughts on Halloween 2 from 2009.
Yeah.
Directed by Rob.
You know, not the perfect film. This one of the more divisive Halloween films, but it's a Halloween film that I love. Obviously, my personal attachments to it. Well, hell, we all have personal attachments to anything we go through, but I adore this. This is my Halloween timeline. All of these versions are my favorite versions of the characters in my go-tos. And I was so happy to see Rob Zombie get 2 bites at the apple on this. And, you know, honestly, the fact that people hate it kind of makes me like it even that much more, to be totally honest with you, even with the imperfection. But this timeline is not for everybody, and it's never going to be for everybody. But that's why you have 1,500 different Halloween timelines, because pick your own motherfucker. That's mine. So, you know, it's kind of how it works these days.
Yeah, choose your own Halloween adventure, I guess.
Exactly.
In the context of the Rob Zombie movies, which, I mean, I say that like there's only one other one, which is the first one. They do work hand in hand as, like, you know, like I said, a 2-part story of telling Michael's story and then like the following up with like what happens with Laurie. And I had an interesting premise of like whether she was dead or not, or still seeing her dead mom. I don't fucking know. But where's that damn? Oh, I got a shot. That at the end, I forgot to put that up. As she's like watching her mom come up to her, and she just
cool shot.
That little evil smile goes right across her face, and that's it. Boom, the credits roll. I was like, God damn, okay, we're setting up Laurie as like a pseudo Michael Myers now. I'm like, that's kind of insane.
Except she's like 95 pounds and not scary at all. But yeah, okay.
I know I've seen it. Well, if you can, hey, he's technically in this movie the voice of Chucky. If you can make this little doll that weighs like 3 pounds kill people, I mean, you can make it work.
That is true. Yeah.
So, somebody get Sheriff Brackett on the phone. Tell me how that works. I did get a cool shot. Actually, I got a cool shot of him, like when he shot Michael or whatever he did or shot. I don't fucking know. Since I don't know which movie I watched, but yeah, it's different.
Down.
It's a different movie, and it's different for the fact that there's about 3 versions of it. But
this is also
I don't know. I think I enjoyed the first one more, but this fits. If we always say that thing, or if you watched both of them back to back and like take a weekend and just watch them back to back one day, it would make sense. So
it's the best way to watch these is back to back. They play so much better. Now I will say
that's why I
it's
did
very
this week.
off-putting.
I had one day.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying I only had one day in between. I watched like one on one day and then had a break and then watched the next one. So I'm like, there wasn't too many degrees of separation where I was like, no, I can watch this as one whole story.
The hardest part to digest when you watch these back to back is what Haddonfield looks like, because Haddonfield in Halloween 07 looks like Southern California. Halloween 09 is filmed in Georgia in a very much of a different landscape. So
yeah,
keep that in your brain while you're watching. Be like, oh, Haddonfield's going to look drastically different, a lot more gothic-y, different, darker look, but it plays better back to back.
I did find another continuity thing. I forgot when I have a picture where they're at when Loomis and the assistant are at the backdrop of the Michael Myers house. I'm like, hey, somebody decided to fix the balcony, even though the house still looks like shit. Didn't the balcony get broken? Also, it looks like it's in the middle of a field, in the middle of fucking nowhere. I was like, wasn't this?
It kind of had a 6'8" giant fall over it with a cistern, not too long ago. Depending on which kind of year or two ago. But there's no apologizing for the plot holes. But like I said, find me a film that doesn't have plot holes, and I'll write you a check. It's just what do you like and what do you
not? Yeah. Well, so I think we both can say I recommend these movies. Just watch it for yourself and just make your own conclusions on it.
Yeah. There are many people who truly don't like these movies because they heard somebody else say Rob Zombie sucks, and you should never do that with any movie. Even if you're listening to us, anything we've ever said on this podcast, oh well, we don't like X, Y, and Z. Watch the movie for yourself and make your own mind up. Yeah. The only thing that you're going to lose is the time that you spent watching. Don't ever watch a film before you see somebody else review it. Don't let anybody else's outside influence you to the point where you're just going with the trend because, oh, I hate Rob Zombie. Whatever. That's stupid.
Yeah. Like, just, you may like something and other people don't. That's just how it goes.
Right.
So that being it, start wrapping this thing in its nice little blood-soaked bow. So what have you got going on for the internets, or hey, the greatest day of the year tomorrow? What do you got going on?
Tomorrow, it's actually kind of fitting that this was a Rob Zombie Halloween review, seeing as it is my last review, and it's on Halloween. So I will be at Joe Bob's Halloween celebration tomorrow from 7 p.m. till 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. So, yeah, come hang out if you're in Dallas. I'll be around there somewhere. Come find me. But, it's, of course, thank you to Frank and Jeremy. And, this is by no means the last time you will ever see me on here. I will pop up from time to time when available, of course. But, don't keep watching the channel and support it because it's I can tell you we don't just watch the films and come on here and bullshit. Actual work and time is put in this. That's why Frank's not here tonight. This is not just let's get online for 2 hours and talk about this. there's more that goes into it than that if you've never done it yourself. So, yeah, keep watching the channel. I will be, I'll be around somewhere. So you never know when the shit can pop up. Like I said last week, I can just fucking
be stalking around.
So, I got knife in hand, slice and dice, bitch. So it's all good.
Yeah, you guys aren't looking at the screen I'm looking at. I had to get all these pictures. I had to put, I have Frank did some of this, put the background together, but I'm like, it's, the music, the whole 9 yards.
Well,
it does take.
And we've never made a dime from doing any of this. We do it for the love. It's literally all that it is. It's the time spent with friends, and we enjoy film. We're not like some big movie shield channel that gets a check to review a movie. We've yet to get to that point. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm grateful for every second I've had to enjoy this, and you never know. You keep watching, I might just pop up.
We're glad to have you around, and we'll be looking at our window through the bed sheets to see if he's just peering over the top.
Keep looking, behind the sheets, behind the curtains. You never know.
He's out there behind the hedges somewhere, just half looking at you. Yeah.
He won't get out of the fucking yard. We don't know what's wrong with him. He just stands there all day. But he does what he does.
Fucking weirdo. Yeah. Appreciate you being on here, having you around.
Fuck you.
One hell of a send off. Hey, fuck you. There's something nice. And that was on YouTube for legal purposes. That was definitely not a drink that was enhanced. So I said just for his little send off here, but
I have never drank alcohol on YouTube. I wouldn't lie to you. What are you talking about?
No, I would never do that. What's funny? I actually had Dr. Pepper in there, which is actually kind of funny. So
hey, like I said, I had to rep the Dr. Pepper bag.
Yeah.
For the I was gonna wear my Michael Myers shake mask, but I fucked it up with fake blood I was telling Jeremy about. So I decided, other things needed to be planned. So it's all good. No worries.
Right. So, and as for me, I'm half dressed up right now is pretty much what I'm going to look like for the rest of this weekend. Obviously, tomorrow being Halloween, where I'll be. I'll be underground, still scaring the crap out of people. It's always a crapshoot because you never actually know. The last weekend, especially when the last weekend is Halloween, it could be absolutely packed, or it could just be dead as shit. I don't.
Considering it's a Friday night, you're probably going to be busy. I got to think.
He might. I mean, Saturday might be worse though, because more people will be off. I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know. With Halloween, it's are people going to make their plans be, hey, come see my haunt, or it's they're going to be off doing their own thing. But with Saturday, I don't know. It's who knows. But it's a little sad. I'm going to be. Yeah, this will be the last weekend for the haunt. So, come out and see that, and I'll be down there rocking these horns. Still getting in people's faces.
Frank,
so that's what we're doing.
No, I've said openly, Frank, I can be bought. Movie studios pay me for my opinion. I'm not too proud. Please.
Oh, I was like, hey, if someone wants to pay us,
I will happily quit one of my jobs to come on here and tell you how good the Disney Star Wars is. Disney, give me some fucking money. I can be bought. So,
I don't know about all that. Yeah, Mike, it was definitely just the soda. It definitely was.
Yeah, there's nothing. This isn't alcohol. This is spicy water, is what we'll call this. Very spicy.
Had 23 flavors. I think I put there's 25 in there. Anyway, get this goddamn music on. Anywho,
happy Halloween.
Tuesday doing God knows what. I think I mentioned we should do the Running Man because Running Man is coming soon. So
make Glenn Powell a thing. Talk about Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell is a thing. I will let Frank know. I got
Powell's you. A thing.
We'll see you guys.
Adios.
Do the horns. I didn't have to do the horns. I already got them on.
We need to have a director's cut ending of this where you quit and I don't, just to fuck with you. So they wonder which ending it is.
Plot.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.